You are listening to the Fairways and Fundraising Podcast, powered by Golf Event Planning, discussing charity fundraising and successful golf outings, along with tips and tricks of the trade. Now here's your host, Larry Battaglia.
Hello, and welcome to Fairways and Fundraising, powered by Golf Event Planning. I'm your host, Larry Battaglia, and today we're remotely Zooming with a client of ours for a few years now, the president of Big I Suffolk, which is formerly the Independent Insurance Brokers of Suffolk County, co-partner of Borg Insurance in Huntington, Long Island, David Borg. How you doing, David?
I'm doing well. How are you doing?
Doing all right. Trying to get through our new normal right now, with this COVID-19 pandemic going on. But this is a great way for us to stay connected and talk a little bit about better days, either prior to this pandemic or things we're looking forward to later this year, late summer and fall, hopefully once we get out of this, and we will get out of this. I just wanted to thank you for coming on today and spending a little time with us. We just want to kind of let our viewers know about, you have a golf outing every year in the insurance space. It's a corporate event. You donate money to charity, but, all insurance brokers, it's a great day of networking. It's always in August at the Huntington Country Club the last couple of years. And right now we're still slated for the third Monday in August 17th. But why don't we talk a little bit about what the Big I Suffolk stands for, the Independent Insurance Brokers of Suffolk County, and what you guys do.
Sure. So we're a trade association in the insurance industry, as you mentioned. Suffolk Big I is part of a larger group. There's Big I New York, and there's Big I across the country. So we're just a local chapter, and this is something we run independently of our other chapters throughout the state and throughout the country, which is nice because we're able to be flexible toward our area versus someone who may be located upstate New York or somewhere in the Midwest or on the West Coast. So it's really nice to kind of run an outing the way we see fit. We're not controlled by anybody. In fact, our outing has actually gained some traction and popularity throughout the state from what people have heard. But we're there for our members to kind of provide either legal advice, legislative advice, and educational purposes. So, for example, everything going on with this new COVID-19 outbreak, there have been changes almost daily from Albany coming across the state. And one of the things we do is, one, we get those orders from the governor, and then basically kind of take them and translate them to our agencies and our members and advise them on how to comply with said orders. Whether it's notifying clients on certain changes, telling our agents to tell their clients of certain changes with just other regulations. And we also go up there to advocate, we go to Albany to advocate if there's a bill that may or may not be good for agents or even our clients. We're one of the few associations when we go to Albany, we actually lobby for, is not necessarily good for us as agents, but it's good for our clients. For example, when Sandy hit back in 2012, there was a knee-jerk reaction in Albany to get rid of hurricane deductibles across the state. If they didn't realize that, what would have happened is they would have basically limited the homeowners market and driven up premiums over the course of the year, which may have been good for agents, but would have been terrible for our clients. So we actually went up there and stopped it, and it never happened. So no one ever heard of it. But those are the things that we do as an association to help our clients.
That's definitely great support. And, like you said, it's changing daily these days. So it can definitely be pretty challenging, but, you're there for your members. And what is the feeling right now out there in the world of insurance?
It's just as uncertain as any other industry at this point in time. We're trying to accommodate our clients. And when I say we, I mean the insurance industry. They're trying to accommodate clients as best as possible. We're aware that people are facing financial hardship. So at this point in time, carriers and agencies are doing whatever they can to basically delay payments, rework payment schedules, basically hit pause essentially on payments for at least 60 days, if not longer, try to change premiums or lower premiums when possible. So it's just a function of we're not immune to this as either. We're just trying to be as accommodating as possible. and also try to, still be a leader in the community that we all serve.
Yeah, definitely. And, you guys do more than just the golf outing. It's obviously a networking organization, and it's constant events, that you guys do. Right now, all events are on hold. Once we kind of open up as a country, you got to get back to reconnecting and getting back to those events. And, what are some of the events that you do other than the golf outing?
Oh, yeah, like you said, we are an event-driven organization. That's how we basically do our fundraising. Without events, we do collect dues, but the dues, they're not enough to keep us afloat, so to speak. But we do other events. So we have an installation dinner. So again, I'm the current president, so my presidency will end. It's supposed to end in June, probably going to be postponed until maybe August at the golf outing, but we'll see. As we change in the officers, we have a big event for that. And again, that's one way we raise funds. We do a holiday dinner every year. Again, that's another way we just raise additional funds. And then we do smaller networking functions throughout the year. We do educational functions. So one event we do is we try to do some sort of like networking function at a local brewery. And from there, last year we did this a horse racing type thing where we had cardboard cutouts of horses, and people would roll dice, and the horses would move the number of spaces down the board, and people would kind of gamble on. And essentially, at the end of the event, we would take that money and we actually donated to children who are homeless in Mongolia. In fact, one of our sponsors, by the name of Peter Perchina from Excess Brokers, he actually goes to Mongolia twice a year and delivers fresh water, food, building supplies to these children in the middle of, I think, the Gobi Desert, one of the most remote places on the planet, and gets these kids, a hot meal and fresh, clean water to drink, and puts clothes on their back and a roof over their head, or even for just a little bit. So events like that. During our holiday dinner, we did we raised money for a group called General Needs. They help homeless veterans here on Long Island. So those are just two charities that our events go to support. I got to say, Lonnie Sherman from General Needs, he does a wonderful job with these veterans. He's grown his organization from scratch. What he's done for these veterans, I personally have gone and helped out with them down at the local VA. And the big thing is, both charities we work with, or any charity we work with, we try to make sure that it's 100% volunteer based. So if we give X amount of dollars, that full amount goes to where it's supposed to go. It doesn't end up in, only a portion of it goes to the end user. So, but those are the events we try to do. And even educationally speaking, we had an event March, I think 11th. So we got in right under the wire with this whole social distancing thing. We basically had a panel of agents, including myself. We all use management systems to kind of keep track of clients and documentation. But there's literally hundreds of them throughout the state. So we kind of picked 5 of the larger ones and had agents give our honest feedback to our members. So our members were able to get a legitimate, honest look at the pros and cons of different agency management systems, so they can make an educated decision on how they want to proceed with their own businesses.
Wow, I'll tell you, that's truly amazing. All the work that you do, and it's very rewarding. It's definitely very rewarding to contribute to such great causes and do such great work. But it is a lot of work. It definitely is, doing so many events through the year and trying to keep your foot on the pedal. And, you guys are all business owners or brokers and, working together. And, really the glue that brings all that together is your administrator, Jeannie Abatelli. She really puts all these events together, coordinates everything, and kind of keeps everybody on schedule. Let's talk a little bit about her involvement in the organization.
Oh, Jeannie is indispensable. She works with our association, but she also works with several other insurance associations. So she's really able to coordinate different events for the different associations, which is great because she's able to make sure that we don't plan events that kind of step on each other's toes, so to speak. So it's really nice in the fact that if we're going to plan an event on August, for example, our golf outing on August 17th, she knows there's another golf event the week prior. So she can, when we were picking our dates, she knows, this date is a different group, so don't pick that date. Otherwise, we would just end up hurting ourselves because the membership would suffer. But even just like you said, this is a volunteer position for myself. I have a business to run. So to coordinate different functions, to go to different venues and look at menus and things of that nature, she takes that off my shoulders, and she's able to kind of negotiate contracts with the venue or even gather sponsorships for our events. So she takes a lot of the heavy lifting from myself and my board members and kind of organizing it on herself. Which, and again, Jeannie's also very, very organized. She's very tech savvy, which is wonderful because although I'm in my mid-30s, I'm definitely not as tech savvy as some of my peers. And even Jeannie, she's very tech savvy and she's able to navigate a lot of computer programs and stuff like that. She makes life easy for me, which is nice.
Yeah, I think that's so important with an organization, as big as yours. Is you definitely need somebody doing all the administrative and organization and coordination. We work real well together at the golf outing, planning it 7-8 months in advance between the committee, Jeannie, and our team coordinating and putting it together. But what does it take to be a member of the Big I Suffolk?
So to be a member of the Big I Suffolk, obviously our membership is made up of independent local agents. So you essentially have to be in Suffolk County to be in the Big I Suffolk. But there are different local associations throughout the state and country. So if you are in a different state or a different county in New York, there is a local association close to yours, close to wherever you live. And that's really it. I mean, but you have to want to hold yourself to a higher standard. You want to be a true professional. You want to be on the cutting edge as far as educational purposes or learning about different laws that may have passed or that may be coming even down the pike there. So, you just want to be really good in the insurance space and be, like you said, a true professional and set yourself apart from your competition. There are so many examples I could give of different legal matters or different regulations that came out that I was probably aware of before a lot of my colleagues and peers in this industry because I'm part of the Big I. So, and I'm not saying that because as a president, I'm just saying that as a member because they are pretty good at communicating changes or even educational stuff too. We all have to maintain a certain amount of CE credits to maintain our licenses. So they can get you the credits that you need to maintain your license, which again, running a business, it's very difficult to stop what you're doing and take 16 hours over the course of a 2-year period to go out and get your credits so you can maintain your license. And it sounds easy, 16 hours over 2 years. We're busy every day. So it's not like I've got 16 hours just to spare. I got to really allot that time very sparingly, so to speak. So
yeah, completely get that. But you just highlighted a lot of the benefits to being a member of the organization. How can people find more information about you guys? I think you're on social media and, also through the website.
Yes, we are on social media. We're on LinkedIn. We're on Facebook, Big I Suffolk. On the internet, you can look at us at bigisuffolk.org. On that website, you'll see all of our future events. You'll see photos from the past events, any updates as far as the golf outing is concerned, registration for golf outing, registration for other events, who you may want to contact, the current president, vice president, treasurer, secretary, and so on and so forth, all the board members. So we're a very accessible organization. We don't try to hide out. We do like to talk to our members and just talk to the public in general. We're here to be a resource for the public with insurance questions. So, but that's where you can find us.
We'll make sure to have all the links in the show notes. So if you are interested in becoming a member of the Big I Suffolk or any of the Big I's across the United States, wherever you're listening, you can definitely research them through the Big I Suffolk website. So the incoming president, which will be at the golf outing, when your tenure is up, 2-year tenure, is Steve Testa.
Correct. Yes. So it's funny. Technically, my term was actually 1 year. I voluntarily chose to stay on for a second year. I've had some predecessors do the same. It's worked out really well. Just because by the time the first year is over, you kind of have a hang of it. So I figured, let me go for another year, and then when my second term is up, Steve Testa from Testa Brothers Limited will be the incoming president, and he's very capable, well suited for this position. I think he'll do a wonderful job. But we're gonna have to combine his installation with the golf outing, which we've never done in the past, just to kind of make this happen.
Yeah, and it's definitely a transition, every couple of years. But one that it keeps everybody engaged, it keeps everybody involved, and also injects a little life into the organization year in and year out. We hope you like this episode. Please remember to subscribe, rate, and review. We appreciate it. So let's talk about some fun times. Your golf outing. So we have a lot of fun there every year. We've been involved now for the last couple of years and look forward to future events. Really stepping it up the last couple of years since we've been involved. Little DJ out on the course. We have food vendors and alcohol vendors, and then we also have a great comedian that comes and performs at night, so that if you don't golf, or even if you do, you provide that dinner entertainment that just kind of brings people together in a room. We just have some laughs, and right now I think having some laughs is definitely what we all need. Laughter is great medicine. Chris Monty is the comedian every year, and boy, he does a great job.
Yeah, I think you guys got involved in 2018, and I think this will be the third outing you guys have worked with us on. I can tell you, prior to you guys getting involved, I saw the outing kind of, I don't want to say dwindle, but it definitely was hurting. We were down to maybe 50 to 60 golfers, and it was just a very lackluster event. It kind of got very stale. It wasn't as great as it could be. And I think, a few years ago, we said, you know what, we can either one, scrap this event, or two, we can really get behind it and push it. And we've been doing the golf outing for I think over 30 years at this point in time. So we really were trying to keep this thing alive. So we figured, okay, let's bring Larry on and see what you can do. Since that's happened, attendance has risen dramatically, but more importantly, just getting the word out on this event. I've spoken to other agents in Buffalo and way upstate New York and Albany, and even at the Big I, New York himself. They hear about our event, and they just say, one, is so well run, and two, it stands out among other events or other golf outings. And there are golf outings in the insurance industry all the time. I can tell you, on Long Island alone, not in the insurance space, but in the golfing space, I think there's over 400 golf outings every year. So to hear from people who do play in outings on a regular basis about how fun and exciting our outing is really cool. As you mentioned, we have drink sponsors. We had a local brewery out there on the course. We get different food vendors. We had I think Anthony's Coal Fire last year, and Del Frisco Steakhouse before that. We've had Ralph's Italian Ice on there one year. Like you said, the DJ, which I thought the DJ was really cool, because it definitely makes it a much more fun, lighthearted event. It takes people focus. People focus on their game, but when you're listening to music, if you have a bad shot, it kind of puts you back in a nice frame of mind, rather than sitting there and kind of dwelling on this crappy shot you just had, which probably is my game more than anybody else's. And then, like you said, even just when you walk into the event, you have the nice iPad so people can just check in. It's seamless. We had Adidas there in the last 2 years, so people got shoes one year. They got a nice collared shirt and a belt, which again stands out. I've never been to an event before where you get shoes just for showing up. So I think that was pretty cool. Murph's Bloody Marys mixes there, and I need to start the day with a Bloody Mary if I'm going to golf, because otherwise my game goes downhill real quickly. And then even the after golf event, the cocktail hour, dinner, we try to keep that fun. We keep it light. We get it. People are there. It's a work function, but it doesn't mean it has to be this long, drawn out, boring, formal event. It can be fun. When Chris Monty is up there, he's killing it with the room. The room is in tears laughing. I'm off the side laughing because I feel like if he sees me laughing, he's gonna roast me a bit. So I try to stay out of view from him, and I try to get him back too if I can. He's hilarious. I think people remember when they leave that event, they think, wow, this was a different event. I've never been to a fun golf outing where I'm laughing, I'm having a wonderful time on the course, I'm eating, I'm drinking. You don't want for anything on the course. You're always taken care of. So it's just a great event. I look forward to it every year. Can't say enough good things about it.
Speaking of looking forward to it, I think we're all going to be looking forward to it this year with what we're going through. And I think that's so important. You highlighted so many great features of the event. It's a fun day. And, we're looking forward to some fun days ahead once we get through this.
Also, with the golf outing, we raised money there to establish a risk management chair at Stony Brook University here in Suffolk County. The reason we're doing this is the insurance industry as a whole is facing huge lack of, the drain in the talent pool, so to speak, as a tremendous amount of people in the industry. I believe the last figure I heard was 25%, or roughly 300,000 to 400,000 people in the industry will be retiring over the next few years. With that said, we need to have people come and take their place. So one of the reasons we're setting this risk management chair up at Stony Brook is to encourage younger people to get involved and look at the insurance industry as a viable, valid career, which it absolutely is. And the nice part is, as a young person would get involved in the insurance career now, the further they get involved, there will be spaces for them to grow their career. This is not going to be a type of business where you get in at a job at a level when you're out of college, and you're there forever. I mean, there are a lot of places to grow and expand your career, your earning potential, and even your ability to give back. As I mentioned, the industry as a whole, they do a lot to give back to the community, both locally and globally. So by getting involved with either agents or carriers or whoever in the insurance industry, you are able to not only provide for yourself, but also provide a great way to help give back to you, to your community and fellow men.
So can't encourage you enough to look into this organization if you're in the insurance space, and also coming out for the golf outing. Right now it's scheduled for August 17th at the Huntington Country Club, which is a great track too, a challenging golf course. I mean, what do you think of the golf course, Dave?
I enjoy the golf course very much. It's really cool. Obviously, it's a private course, so I don't get to play very often. But just it's cool because it's not a flat course. There are a lot of hills on there. Some really sharp par threes that I really enjoy. Some long par fives, which kind of get me a little frustrated because I don't have as long of a drive as others. Again, it's a really, really fun course. The clubhouse is really nice. The facilities in general are very nice. They do a great job with dinner. It was something different. We did tacos on the course too at the halfway house. They keep the course in really good condition. The grass is nice. The greens are I mean, I think they're fast, but again, that could just be my game, so you can't really go by me. But it's just one. I can't say enough good things about it.
Yeah, I mean, the course is hard enough to begin with, but then you throw in, hitting the Murph's Bloody Mary stand in the morning when you check in, and then at the turn you're gonna be hit with Harbors Brewery and maybe a couple of their samples. Last couple of years we had a cigar and bourbon vendor there, so maybe sampling some of the bourbon varieties. Next thing you know, those greens are faster than ever. That's what it's all about. It's a great networking event. It's one that we're proud to be a part of, and so glad to elevate things and bring it back to life. Honestly, in our business, you really have to be creative, and you have to think outside the box because, as you mentioned, there's so many golf outings nowadays, and it is a competitive space. So you want to attract people in a lot of ways, between the vendors, between the golf course, between the extras that you provide, and having the DJ and maybe the comedian at night. But it also comes back to the charity, and every year you pick an honoree and their organization you donate to. So this year it's Plymouth Rock, correct? Why don't we talk a little bit about this year's honoree?
Yeah, so Plymouth Rock is the honoree. They're an insurance carrier in the personal line space, so they work with homeowners in particular. They have a very interesting quoting platform where, from my perspective, it makes life a little easier because you can kind of, they do a lot of the legwork on their end for us, and they're competitively priced. So we've been doing a lot of business with them, and I know a lot of other local agents have been working with them. I think they're trying to make a really big name for themselves on Long Island. Long Island with homeowners insurance is very interesting, where carriers, some carriers, they come in with these crazy low prices, and then in a year or two, they basically either have to, jack their prices up or have to leave the space because they underbid themselves so much. But I know Plymouth Rock is really trying to do a good job of balancing, keeping a competitive price as well as a sustainable price where they can maintain these prices for a long period of time and just take care of their clients. And like I said, they're really trying to break into the New York, Long Island space in particular. They've done a great job, and Francino, the rep over there, has done a wonderful job supporting us as an association, getting the word out to the agents to come support the outing, obviously providing that we do have it, in fact, on August 17th. But again, a great company to work with.
So again, we're looking forward to, the tail end of the summer as we come out of this and just kind of get out and enjoy life again. and network and just kind of be together as a group. It's a great, fun event. You can stay connected with the Big Eye Suffolk. We'll have all the links in our show notes, but it's bigeyesuffolk.org. And if there's any updates to the golf outing, if it happens to be postponed at all, you can find it on there. But again, we encourage you to, if you're in the insurance space, to join the organization. If you are in Suffolk County or in any of the other counties or states, you can look up any of the chapters and see if there's one that pertains to your location. It's a great way to keep yourself educated and also networked in the insurance space. Dave, you've been part of the organization a while now, obviously, and being president. So, I mean, what's your experience been like these last 2 years as president?
It's been really rewarding. I really enjoy being the president. I have a great group of board members I work with, just a fantastic group of true professionals that are knowledgeable, fun. We get to do a lot of cool things together. We go to Albany, go to discuss certain legislative functions as well as DC on a federal level. So we get to kind of work together on that plane. But also we get to truly build relationships and camaraderie. I mean, the insurance industry is a relationship-driven business. So you really got to be friendly with everybody. But it's great that I've called other agents that are technically my competitors, but I've called them and said, hey, I had this situation. Have you seen this before? Or do you have any ideas? And without hesitation, they will give me their honest feedback and say, hey, have you tried this? Or maybe call that person. That person may be able to help you. So it's a great way just to network myself and build my professional network. Because, again, in the insurance space, it's very relationship driven. You never know who can help you but again, they're just great people though, just to speak with. And again, I can't say that. Not even just on a local level, people I work with in Suffolk County, but I've also met people in Tri-County and upstate New York and across the state. And I have to say, it's just a great group of people statewide that I've worked with. The people at Big Eye, New York, up in Syracuse, New York, or DeWitt, New York, they're very helpful, always eager to lend a hand. Just a very positive group of people. That's another thing too, is they're very positive. Even when something like what we have going on in the world today, that I know a lot of people may get very upset, and it's very easy to be downtrodden with the current state of affairs in our country. It's great to see people who say, hey, you know what? Yeah, it's terrible, but we're going to get through this. And it's contagious, their positivity is contagious, that, now I can say, I get off the phone with these people and I'm like, wow, you know what? Everything is going to be okay. I feel better. And I take that into my business, and I hopefully can now radiate positivity through my business. So it's just, like I said, just a great group of people who are professionals and just eager to help in any way they can. So they make my life easier as the president to work with a group of board members, Jeannie Abatelli and the people at Big Eye, New York. Just it makes life easy for me as well.
Yeah, I mean, you hit it on the head. Positivity and true professionals. I mean, we love our meetings when we get together once a month for the golf outing. I mean, it's business, but, it's laughs, and it's true professionals that are there for one common goal. And I think that really what it comes down to, right now is staying connected, staying together. We are going to get through this. And let's come out and support the golf outing August 17th. Again, you can stay connected with the Big Eye Suffolk on their website, bigeyesuffolk.org, and through social media. We'll have all the links in our show notes. But again, Dave, thanks so much for coming out, spending a little time with us today on Zoom, just staying connected and providing a little content for our listeners.
Thank you very much for having me. I really appreciate the opportunity. Obviously, I really enjoyed working with you over the last few years. So when you asked me to do this, I thought it was a wonderful idea. I've never done a podcast before, so this is my first one. I hope I did a good job, I guess. And I just think it was actually funny how that you and I have been working together for 3 years, that ironically enough, you ended up working with my brother and cousin at other events, just totally independently of my event, just coincidentally enough. So I just thought that was really, really funny that as you and I built our relationship up, you've already kind of started working with people that I already knew and just didn't know you worked with them. So I just thought that was pretty funny that I wanted to share.
Yeah, no, thanks. Small world, and our business is all word of mouth. So the endorsements, it means everything because that is how it really drives our business. But right now everything's on hold, but that's okay. We're going to get back out there in a couple of months. We'll be stronger and better for it. And listen, we truly love our relationship with you and Jeannie Abatelli and everybody at the Big Eye Suffolk. And I just think that for years to come, we're just going to continue to grow and just make this a fun event and always for a great cause, as you highlighted earlier. So thanks very much. And you'll have to come back on and we'll have to do another episode here in the coming months when things are better.
Thank you very much for having me. And I look forward to the same thing. And I guess best of luck with everything. And let me know if you need anything.
Yeah, you too. Stay safe, stay healthy, and stay positive. Ciao, ciao for now.
Thank you for listening to the Fairways in Fundraising podcast, powered by Gulf Event Planning. We hope you enjoyed this podcast, and please remember to subscribe, rate, and review.